What's going on, guys? In this video, we're finally doing it. We're finally putting it all together into one strategy. So if you watch the past 13 videos, you will now have all the tools you'll need to put this strategy together and start putting in swing trades and be a profitable trader. This is what I've been using to help me trade and live out here in Hawaii. This is the strategy that I've seen the most success with. And the best part of the strategy is that there is a lot of wiggle room in it. So if you don't really like some of the indicators that I use, you can replace it with the indicators that you prefer, because the idea of the strategy is that you just have enough confirmations to back up your decision. This is the simplest way you can break down technical analysis. We can dive really, really deep into volume spread analysis and going through order books and reading about the banks are doing, which is definitely necessary if you want to take a trade to a professional level. But if for us retail traders, we can break it down to a simple strategy to where we only have to spend a few hours a week, a few minutes a day looking at the charts. So I'm gonna go over the confirmations that I use in the strategy. And again, I even mix match it in the examples I show just to show that there is wiggle room in this strategy. So for the most part, I'm gonna identify the trend, recognizing whether it's an uptrend or downtrend. Trend lines, we use those in three different ways. We look for the bounce, break, and retest. So we see if price breaks the trend line, bounces off the trend line, or retests off the trend line. Then we use supply and demand rejections, just drawing out supply and demand zones using those support resistance or buy or sell opportunities. Fibonacci retracements and extensions. Again, I love this tool. I can't say enough about Fibonacci. It's very, very accurate, very good for finding take profits, stop losses, all that good stuff. Harmonic patterns, so recognizing patterns with Fibonacci ratios. And I don't use those too heavily. When they pop up and they're nice, but they're not always there. So again, this is one that I take in and out, just depending on how the conditions are. Reversals and continuation patterns. So just recognizing, double tops or shooting stars or any of those price patterns that are really good, because if they line up with these other confirmations, that's just a surefire thing for your trade. Moving averages, good for recognizing reversals and trends. MACD, good for recognizing reversals. RSI, good for recognizing, again, reversals, recognize a trend, looking for divergences and price, really good tool. ADX, average directional index, good for recognizing reversals and recognizing how strong the trend is. So these, for the most part, I'm going to use. Again, I'm going to mix match just to show the flexibility in this. So let's go over some rules in the strategy. There aren't too many. At least 10 confirmations must be active to enter. So if there's 8, 9, so close, 10, that's what you need. Almost active is the same as inactive. So when you're looking at confirmation, if it's almost ready, if it's almost valid, it's still not valid. So if those moving averages, the MACD, they're about to cross over, the 200 about to cross over, but they haven't yet, Make sure counter confirmations are at a minimal. So if you're seeing, let's say, 3 confirmations for a buy and 2 confirmations for a sell, well, it could be anyone's game. You want to make sure there's 10 solid confirmations for a buy, 10 solid confirmations for a sell, maybe a couple confirmations for the other direction. But if it's really, really in the favor you're looking towards, that's all we need. All right, so I'm gonna dive right into it. Here's an example of a trade I took. So right at the red line right here where I say sell, that's where I enter sell position. At the green line right here, that's where I take profit. So let me break down why I took this trade. So I recognize a lower low right here, which tells me the price is a downtrend, which means it's a good time for sell opportunity. Second confirmation, I'm looking at trend line break, which indicates that buying pressure is dying down and it's going into a downtrend. Third confirmations right here, I see it retest the trend line on the other side, making it saying that this is a good resistance level, showing that price is going to drop. Moving average show that price is bearish, so I have another indicator telling me that price is going down. And it also retests the moving average. Price taps it. We can also use moving averages as support resistance. One reason why it's a really cool, easy to use indicator. We can see right here, price broke below the baseline, which means price broke below a general area was keeping above, showing that price is going to a lower range. Now, if we go down to Oscars down here, we have the MACD. We can see that MACD is bearish because we see the red line above the blue line, indicating that selling pressure is above buying pressure. We had ADX crossover. We can see the negative DI line cross above the positive DI line, telling us that selling pressure is outweighing buying pressure. And then the 10th confirmation, my favorite thing, multi-index analysis. We can see that the dollar index is going up, and since this chart is demonstrating the price of gold, gold does the opposite of the dollar index. So since we see the dollar index rising, we expect to see this falling. So that was our 10th and final confirmation. So right at that moment, we can see I circle right there. That's where I took the sell position. We can see that all the confirmations line up, all 10 of them, and I took profit right there. I didn't get greedy. I think it was about 100 pips. This was a quick sell, in and out just like that. Really easy to do. So let's go on to another example. So here's an example of another sell I took, right? That circled doji candle is where I took the trade. And then the green line down there where it says take profit, that's where I took profit and took my money and ran with it. So the first confirmation was I saw that the trend line broke, price went below it, indicating that buying pressure is dying down. Second confirmation is price moved under the baseline, showing that price is moving under a general area where it's stayed. There's a doji candle showing indecision in the market or showing that buying pressure is dying and selling pressure is dominating. We have moving averages have a bearish crossover, saying that the uptrend is now into a downtrend, showing it's a good time to enter, and price is below it. That's all we want to see. We want to see price below the moving averages, and we want to see the faster line move above the slower line. All right, so the price tested the exponential moving average, so that's just a further indication that price is hitting a resistance level. Then the RSI right here, we can see that it's under 50, which shows that price is in a downtrend. Our 7th confirmation is that the MACD had a bearish crossover. And then right here, the ADX, we can see a trend line rise above 25, showing that the trend strength is increasing. And then we can also see the negative DI line go above the positive DI line. Then our 10th and final confirmation, my favorite one, multi-index analysis. We can see that the price of US dollar index is rising, so that means the price of gold is going to tank. 10th and final confirmation for the sell in, out, profit, money in the bank, just like that. All right, so here's an example of a buy I took. So the red line right here on the upper right-hand corner is where I entered the buy, and then the green line above is where I took profit, took my profits, and ran. So the first confirmation is a trend line break. We can see that selling pressure is dying down, price is moving into an uptrend. Second confirmation was a trend line retest, trend line poked on it using it as support, showing that now price is comfortably above it. Price formed a higher high, indicating that price is in an uptrend, which means a good time to buy. Fourth confirmation, we saw the moving average had a bullish crossover. Fifth confirmation was demand rejection. So I drew a demand zone right here. We saw price retesting it repeatedly over and over and over, telling us that price is not going to go below here until a miracle happens. Then the RSI, we can see that it's above 50, indicating that price is an uptrend, showing that it's a good time to put in a buy position. Our 7th confirmation is the MACD bullish crossover. You can see it right here. The blue line rose above the red line, showing a good time to buy. Our 8th confirmation is the ADX trend line right here. We can see it rise above 25, showing the increase in the trend strength. Then we have a positive DI line go above the negative DI line, showing how much stronger the buying pressure is compared to the selling pressure, saying it's a good time to buy. Then our 10th and final confirmation, my favorite thing in the world, multi-index analysis. Again, DXY is bearish. Whatever DXY is doing, gold is going to do the opposite and it rises above, giving us a 10th and final confirmation. So that's how you do it. That's how you can combine 10 confirmations. You can use these. You can use others that you think will work, but use this as a guideline. Use this as the foundation to make your own strategy. Do whatever is comfortable for you. Congratulations for making it to the end of this course. Most people who start do not finish. So you're already in the top % of people that are trying to invest, because most people say they want to, but they don't put the work in. You got through an entire course on Forex. You're ready to start demo trading. You're only a few months away from pulling out your first profit, maybe even a few weeks from pulling out your first profit. So with that, guys, don't hesitate to reach out to me via Facebook or email so that we can get you into my mentorship program so that you can trade with me personally, so I can hold your hand and guide you through this scary journey that Forex is. It's very intimidating in the beginning, but when you have the right community around you, when you have people training around you, people who are winning, people who do this full time, you'll start to see increases in your results with that, guys. Thank you for watching this video series, and I'll talk to you soon.